felt it coming. Felt it in my bones, I did.
Oh, nay, it was all my fault. I delivered those letters to him from his sister in America. And after he let me read the first one, I should have thrown the rest of them away.
Oh, dear, when we invited those bonny young elders in for a treat, who would have guessed that Richard would be stopping by?
Oh dear, we should have burned the boat. Then Richard would never have it.
I knew he was thinking of leaving the parish. Has such a thing happened? My mother always said a man was meant to mourn.
Oh dear, the shame of it. Oh, what shall we do? What shall we do?
Where I sit, I know just what I'd do. But then nobody asks me. Instead they muddle through, deprived of my wisdom, without the benefit of seeing things as I see from where I sit.
And what would you do?
What would I do?
What would you do if it were you? What would you do?
First I'd get him married, provide him with a wife, and all the obligations that come with married life. Alas, like me, to see that he'd do only what was fitting. That's what I'd do. Not that the man would be henpecked, mind ya.
No, he'd be buzzard bitten. Now we'll agree. The good book says that a man should be master in his own home or know the reason why.
Aye, Mr. Bannerman. And if he be my husband, he'd know the reason why.
From where I sit, I know just what I do. But then nobody asks me. Instead they muddle through, deprived of all my wisdom, without the benefit of seeing things as I see from where I sit.
And what would you do?
What would I do?
What would you do if it were you? What would you do?
I'd put my arm around him and offer him the hand and let him know he had a friend, someone to understand. We'd have a talk and take a walk down to the ale and clatter with a nip of rye and a bit of gin.
Soon, nothing else it matter. With the perplexities facing your own nephew, Barry, one could suppose it might result in sober thinking.
Ah, Reverend, you do offend me. When have you seen me anything but sober?
Aye, last night you were anything but sober. From where I sit, I know just what I do. But then nobody asks me. Instead they muffle through, deprived of all wisdom, without the benefits of seeing things as I see from where I sit.
And what would you do?
What would I do?
And what would you do if it were you? What would you do?
I'd keep the laddie busy, stay with him night and day. I'd monitor his thinking, he'd be my protege.
As sure as sin, then he'd begin to forget the things he's found.
Become just like an ostrich.
Ostrich?
Head tucked in the ground. There's been no lack of advice from this village in the past few weeks, and I dare say a bit more will make no difference, and no one will mind if I put in my own oar.
So what do you do?
What do I do?
What do you do now that it's you? What do you do?
When I see you really bursting like a pot that's on the boil,
other two. This last trunk should do it. Aye, that be all of them.
Clothes, books, dishes, a lifetime of memories. All packed in a few bundles and trunks.
Richard, you don't have to leave, you know.
Aye, Angus. Since my baptism, I felt a wee bit like Saul of Tarsus and the early Christian converts, at odds with my own community.
Aye.
However, the Lord has been most gracious to me and mine. Since Mither and the rest of the family converted, my soul has become convinced of the goodness of God and the truth of what we've been doing.
Good. And Verda Delora, Richard, is there no way?
None that I can see, Angus. She be too well entrenched to be uprooted.
After Ella Ross preached to her and the Reverend, instead of joining the church, they tried to do their own missionary work with Richard.
Aye, she thinks I'm deluded and will be reduced to want. I've counted the cost, and I think I'm prepared for the changes that might come.
Aye, good. Oh, Sister Valentine, I was wondering where you be.
Oh, Banny was kind enough to take me over to Edinburgh Church to wish me David his last goodbye. Your daddy, he'd be proud of you, Richard, settling up your business and still having enough to pay off all your debts and take your father's family to this new land of Zion.
Aye, Richard, you be off to this raw frontier of America, out there with savages, disease, and destitution. And I can be accepting of all of that, but what I cannot accept is that you be paying good money for the trip.
Richard! Richard! 'Tis faithful I am we got here in time. I was afraid we weren't going to get here, but here we are.
Has left me breathless, but here we are.
Aunt Mary, Aunt Lizzie, Reverend Riddle, you've been good friends. And I'm heartily sorry if you're still feeling that I've betrayed you. The fact is, Aunt Mary, you've made the trip for Nay.
Ah, Richard, would you deny old friends a final goodbye? And the pleasure of sharing at Kirapoo?
And if this journey to this novel place turns out to be a disappointment, and this church of yours a hoax, a few of your friends have offered to pay all your passage back home to Scotland, where you belong.
Tis grateful I am for the money. But more than that, for the bonny kindness and understanding of all of ye I have laboured with and loved.
Richard, you need to know that the hostilities come more from borderline people, men and women not obedient to any persuasion, more from those than them in the church.
I'll miss you. Everyone will miss you, all.
Not all. Like a bad penny, I'll still be around.
Aye, the whole of the family excepting Benny. I didn't know why it did not surprise me.
Well, it's this way. My lips kept praying, oh Lord, make me a Mormon.
Aye.
But then my thirst kept saying, but please don't do it just yet.
Benny.
Richard, I've always been of a mind that forgiveness is a bonny idea. Until now. Now that I have something to forgive. How can I not forgive you for something you believe in so much?
The truth be, Verda Delora, I cannot bear to face life without it.
And the rest of the truth be, do not feel the same for me.
Verda Delora, you were not with me here in the Firth of Forth when I was baptized a few short months ago. You were not with me when a feeling as powerful as the North Sea jutting into the wastes of Scotland's shores filled me with the truth and the word of God.
Is it so necessary for two people to experience the same things? Believe exactly the same way?
I've heard it in all Christ taught that a man and a woman joined together in marriage are to be regarded as one. Just as a key in its lock, or a violin in its bow, one sound made together. Last, I'll cherish the memory of the love we all shared together. And I'll miss it so much. So much.
Rugged rock houses with pasture nearby, the bonny wee church with a spire to the sky, old stone-filled moors and the wave-beaten shores, I weep ere I bid ye a silent goodbye. Cold blows the wind as it nudges the rye, the barnyards are steaming, the cold cattle cry, tartans and tweeds and the wool that we weaved, I weep ere I bid ye a silent goodbye. The mist on the gloaming, the dew on the glen, the heather, the hillsides succumb to the drone of the bagpipes to hear now and then. I'll yearn for a long time to come to the clay-covered schoolhouse, the time dignified, the lads and the lasses that grace the inside. And ye who have loved me, who stood by my side, I weep ere I bid ye a silent goodbye.
Traveled on water afore.
Oh, Uncle Fanny, tell me what to do in case we get seasick.
Oh, that won't be necessary. You'll do it.
We'll take on the side by side.
Egypt, Noah and the ark.
Daniel in the lion's den, Jonah down in the well.
A babe born in a stable and called Emmanuel.
There are letters for them, just for you and me. They lived behind and left behind as precious legacy.
Aaron's rod became a serpent. Lot's wife turned to salt.
Elijah brought forth fire. It wasn't difficult.
Nor superstitious magic, but powers from on high that a wee bit of learning is sure to verify.
A wee bit of learning of Samaritans and thieves.
10 minutes now, I've been calling you.
I'm sorry, Mither, I've been a mite involved. What is it?
Would you kindly unstrap the bags?
What, again?
Aye, the plank will be down soon, and you wouldn't want your sisters a looking raggedy when they're taking their final leave.
Mither, I've unstrapped those bags 7 times now for Jane and Addie. What with all of their fussing and primping, 'tis maybe the raggedy one you might be worrying about. You know, Mither, I'm beginning to think the town feller might have been right about the shell nuts.
The shell nuts?
Aye, the shell nuts. Some find it most difficult to live, said he. Difficult, says I. My sisters would find it impossible to love their neighbour as themselves.
Richard! 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 Richard!
Unstrap the bags, Richard, open up the trunks. Unhinge the locks, Richard, show some spunk. These clothes we've worn since fussy born, the lot of them have shrunk. So unstrap the bags, Richard.
Richard!
Open up the trunks.
We've been on the water for over 2 months now. 2 months without bonnets or bright ribbons.
Aye, or pretty slippers, and mine are in the bottom of that trunk.
I with my bonnet.
Unstrap the bags, Richard. Open up the trunks. Unhinge the locks, Richard, show some spunk. We must unpack our shoes and hats. Without them we'll be set. So unstrap the bags, Richard. Richard, open up the trunks.
Richard, they'll be putting down the plank, lad. 'Tis the final end of a long journey it is.
We're here, Boo Valentine, we're here.
Aye, lad, we're here. Look, Mither. We must thank God for a safe voyage.
This is a bonny place. Oh, how I wish your Uncle Banny were here.
Mither, he will be, as he said in the letter we got from Louisiana.
Oh, look, Peter, there he is over there. Oh, Elder Taylor, you know John Taylor. Look, he's standing over there by the tall gentleman.
That tall gentleman you be referring to be James Standen, the man who baptized the brother. He's a good friend of the prophets.
Aye, lad, the prophet soon, Mither. We'll meet the man we came from across the ocean to follow.
James Standing looks fine, doesn't he, Richard? Richard?
I wonder who the bonny lass be.
Where?
There, standing by James.
Richard, she's looking at you.
Indeed. Get moving, lad.
Unstrap the bags, Richard, open up the trunks. Unhinge the locks, Richard, show some spunk.
His suit's been worn from morn to morn. It looks like I've been dumped.
So unstrap the bags, Richard. Open up the trunks.
Richard, you've been here for a year now. But when I first came here over 6 years ago, Nauvoo was mostly swamp. Now look at her. The largest, most beautiful city in Illinois. Bigger even than Chicago.
Aye. It's not unlike Ullerston. My own home lay in a cold, wet bottomland where the undrained condition of the soil caused much rot and spoilage. But it was beautiful. Green, like Nauvoo.
You were a farmer then in Scotland?
Nah, my daddy was. I used to help my dad before he died. Then I became a baker.
A baker?
Aye.
From a baker to the manager of the coach and carriage manufacturing company? Those trades are a far cry from one another.
Aye. Well then, here it is, James. A pretty fair list of all the conveyances that have been built or repaired.
Does that include everything here?
Aye, everything fit for traveling.
What about this?
No. Apostle Taylor directed that the buggies must be large enough to haul the families and their belongings. So, I suppose when we go, this stays.
Sorry to be so late, Richard. James, well, how does everything look here?
Richard's been turning out wagons and buggies by the dozens, Phineas. We'll be ready.
Depending, of course, sir, on how soon you'll be needing them. Do you have any idea?
No one knows. Ever since a prophet was murdered, Nauvoo's become kind of a witch's cauldron, full of persecution and hostility, not to mention dissension within our own ranks. And Sidney Rigdon right there stirring the whole thing up. When do we leave? When that pot boils over, then we head west fast. But for now, I've got to be going up north. Pick up a supply of flour at McQueen's mill. Do you have a sturdy wagon I could borrow, Richard?
Well, the buckboard out back should do you, sir.
Phineas, do you mind if Richard and I ride along? We're finished here.
Fine. Well, I've got to fetch my boy first, so I'll meet you back here as soon as I find Brigham Age.
Aye. And I've still got one appointment for rental, but Angus McPherson be late. So if he doesn't come soon, it'll be his bad luck.
I'll walk this over to Elder Taylor's, and then I'll be right back.
Aye.
Richard! Sorry I'm late. Is the buggy ready?
Aye, lad. But if you'd been a wee bit later, you'd have had to walk to your picnic. You can take it out behind. Bert will hitch it up for you.
Thank you.
But first, I'll be needing you to settle up with me.
Richard! In advance?
Aye, in advance. I'll be gone when you return. You can leave the buggy out behind. I'll be coming back later.
Angus, are you in there?
Hi, Huldah, I'm here. Richard, I just spent all the money I had with me over to the store for my new coat.
Angus, if we don't hurry up, the sun will be down soon.
Good afternoon, Sister Clark.
Oh, Elder Valentine. Angus, isn't the buggy ready yet?
Aye, Huldah, the buggy's ready, but there seems to be a problem. With this whip.
The whip?
A problem with the whip?
Aye, Richard, the whip. He just told me I'd have to find Bert and have him help me fix the handle. We might even have to buy leather from the store to get it fixed with. Huldah, you stay right here. Richard, I'll be back with everything we talked about.
Well, I declare. What was all that about?
Sister Clark, would you like to be setting yourself up here until Angus comes back? Like he said, it won't be long. Here, lass, let me help you.
No, thank you. I can manage myself. Brother Valentine.
Yes, Huldah. I mean, Sister Clark.
Do you pay this much attention and care to all of your buggies?
Aye, lass. But this is not just a buggy. 'Tis a carriage. And not just an ordinary carriage, nah. Remarkable things happen when one or two take a ride in this particular carriage.
Only this one?
Absolutely.
Well, a rig is a rig. It's all the same so long as it gets you there. Where you're going.
Ah, would it be the getting there we be discussing?
Caesar had his chariots, Noah had his ark, Columbus had his ships to bid goodbye in. Godiva had her pony, Queen Mary had her throne. But from what I'm told, they'd all been sold if only they could ride in a one-horse carriage with 2 cushion seats, 3 sides of hardwood, and the rest for your feet, with glass to look through as we ride down the street, in a one-horse carriage with 2 cushion seats. As we glide over hills and valleys, I might slide very close to you, satisfied that the horse will dally. We can sit and talk a lot. And in a carriage like this, there's even more we can do.
Really?
Absolutely.
What?
What?
Yes. What can we do?
What can we do?
In a one-horse carriage with 2 cushion seats, 3 sides of hardwood, and a rest for your feet, with glass to look through as we ride down the street.
Yes, go on.
We can watch the people goggle-eyed as the 2 of us sit side by side, softly whispering as we slowly ride.
About?
About?
Aye, lass, what would we be whispering about?
About a one-horse carriage with 2 cushion seats.
Of course. A one-horse carriage with 2 cushion seats.
If we're to be getting back, we best leave now.
The trouble is I'm not supposed to be the vicious straw house.
Hold up there. Ah, Richard, I see what you were waiting for finally came. James, your customer. Afternoon, Huldah.
Gentlemen?
Hi, Hengist McPherson be the customer. He was here, but he'll be coming back shortly. Sister Clark is waiting for him here. He'll be returning soon. Momentarily. Georgie! Georgie!
Yes, sir.
Georgie, lad, go out back and tell Bert to hitch the team to the buckboard. Then have him bring Brother McPherson's horse in here and hitch it up to this buggy. And Georgie,
Yes.
you can wait in here with Sister Clark before he and Bert lock up.
I'll tell him.
Aye.
You ain't going nowhere, boy!
What do you mean, Gentlemen, the business be closed for the day.
The business will be closed permanently if you don't do what you're told, Scotchman. Now hand over that
You better
gun
give it to
there.
him, Richard.
Now, what authority do you men order us to surrender?
This be my authority. Potter, go back and bring in the kid. Logan, Jake, tie them people up over there. Some for the ladies.
Now see here if you dare harm this one. Oh!
No! Now, hold on, Dan, hold on. Ain't gonna be no good to us dead.
And just what, sir? Can we be any good to you at all? Ever hear the name of Collier Brattle?
Collie? Brattle? You ever hear of him, son?
I'm right here, Father.
And the rest of you, anybody know what these men are talking about?
Hey, the kid must have got away. I can't find him anywhere.
I know who those 2 men you're asking
Georgie!
about.
Georgie, shh! You don't know what you're saying.
Yes, I do, ma'am.
Oh, you do you?
Yes, them 2 you're asking about are mobbers, just like you.
Hush, Georgie, that be enough now, lads.
I'll tell him when that be enough. Come here, boy. Now, tell me, how be it a good little Mormon boy like you knows the likes of them, huh?
Leave him alone. He's just repeating what he's heard.
And what might that be?
Well, what if we all stop playing your silly little game, sir? As you well know, your friends, Macaulay and Brattle, are in the Nauvoo jail awaiting trial.
My pa says that they're murderers and they lynched innocent people.
You're wrong, boy. Your pa's got a little trouble interpreting the law correctly. Now then, as I understand it, it ain't even considered murder. And you do it to a Mormon. Well then, if you Mormons are interested, this is what we're planning on doing.
Just a moment, sir. I think you're forgetting. We're no more than 4 miles from town. Why, there's a whole city of us out there bound to find out you're holding us here.
Oh, correction, friend. There was a city of you. And he let down all that.
You be a lying dog trying to scare the lad and the ladies. Well, you'll find we Mormons don't scare that easy, do we, laddie?
No, sir.
You'll have plenty of time to test your courage before we're through with you.
Please. Sir, why don't you just let the boy go?
My friends aren't let go, lady. Nobody leaves, leastwise under their own power. What was that? Hogan? All right, the rest of you just stay put, stay put.
I'm scared, Sister Clark.
That's all right, Brigham. So am I.
Just don't let them know it.
The kid must have got into town. The Legionnaires are coming. All right, all right. This is what we're going to do. Little lady, yeah. You'll deliver our terms. Now, listen carefully. My friends McNulty and Brattle aren't set free and cleared of all charges and brought up here to us. I'm not going to be responsible for what these men do, even to the boys.
Why don't you let the lads go with her? For your sake as well as theirs. Any harm comes to these boys, you'll have 200 Nauvoo Legionnaires pursuing you the rest of your days.
Yeah, midterms. Now, get yourself out of here. Remember, my friends aren't up here with us. These boys will be down there.
All right. Your terms are well understood. We'll all be back. As soon as possible.
You can count on that, little lady. Because if your friends aren't back soon, you'll need shovels when you get here.
Georgie, don't cry, lads. We'll be out of this before long.
Richard. Don't be afraid, lad. I'm here to help you, but I'll be holding my hand here to keep you quiet.
Penny? Is that you?
Aye, the bad Penny.
Ban to heaven, I never thought I'd be seeing you again, lad. How? It's all right now, Georgie. We'll be out here soon enough.
The last brought us the news. Now keep your hands just where they be while I cut the ropes. The Legionnaires are waiting for me to free you before the attack. And Richard, don't be afraid to use this if you need to.
All right, boys. Let up them rifles. McNulty and Brattle aren't down that path in an hour. Dispose of the prisoners.
Hey, maybe we ought to wait just a while.
Now listen to me, you little weasel. We've been here for 2 weeks, and if you hold any value on your worthless life, you'll do what I tell you.
I was just thinking.
Let him die. Be just retribution. 5 Mormons for 2 of our men.
Hey, that seems hardly fair.
You might be right. Those are two of our best men. Let's get them horses ready.
I swear the gates of hell will be too fine for the likes of that mad dog. Can you raise your wrist a bit higher, sir?
Sorry, they're so stiff. Is that better?
Aye, but don't move much. Now the lad. Now, get behind that wagon over there and work your way over to the side door. And then take cover. Be you scared, lad?
A little, sir.
Well, now, it is an adventure, the likes of which you'll be telling your grandchildren in years to come. Now move.
Well. Looky here. You ain't going nowhere. Ever.
You be a witness, Mr. Logan. Old Wimp here drew his weapon first now, didn't he?
Speak up, Mr. Logan. You be hesitating at great personal risk. And you two-legged cactus. Lilies will be sprouting out of your ears if you ever move again.
Hey, what's going on? Is it you, Logan? Hold on.
Don't worry, Richard. They won't get far. You all right?
Aye. Uncle Benny.
Aye, lad. It's good to see you. Well, now. Well, sir, are you all right?
Just a little wiser. I had a feeling there was something wrong when we first got here.
Father said there were too many horses tied to the fence when we first came.
I should have. But then that's closing the barn door again. Too late for that.
I'm afeard there'll be no peace in this land at all anymore. Leastwise, not for us.
Not until we've avenged this wrong.
Oh, we'll not fight on, James.
Are you lads all right?
Aye, Angus. Richard. We were fit and grateful to you, lad. Did you catch old Wimp and his men?
We had a nice ride out to find them. Both ways.
You mean you didn't find him?
Not a sign of them, lad.
Oh, they'll be back. And with more until we've all been driven out.
I'm not leaving whipped and beaten down like a dog.
Aye, 'tis anger and humiliation I be feeling. And I also be realizing that what they be trying to killing us means more than our lives. I'll be willing to stay on.
And I, too, I'll not leave my friends.
I want to stop you. No, listen to me, men. God has provided our rescue. Now we've got to leave. And leaving will take more courage than staying.
But we'll be spoken of as cowards. Cowardly Mormons driven out.
Aye. Then let it be said of us that we left willingly because we had to. James.
So say a prayer and move along willingly because we have to, and make these words our battle song. Willingly because we have to.
Take courage, we'll stand together with a grip on the iron rod. Men of peace, we join the battle, marching side by side with God. We light the torch and fan the flame willingly because we have to. The spark of truth will burn again willingly because it has to. Then when the battle is past and gone and will its graves in the sands of time,
Let it be written thereupon, we did it willingly, 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 because we had to.
Aye. Fear not, doubt not. God will be with us.
And will stand as a witness to bring forth the work. Defend the truth. Take up the fight willingly because we want to protect the faith, our strength unite. Willingly, because we want to. Take courage, we'll stand together with a grip on the iron rod. Men of peace, we join the battle, marching side by side with God. We'll do His work, His words defend. Willingly, because we want to, and will endure until the end. Willingly, because we want to. Then when the battle is past and gone, and we're as grains in the sands of time, let it be written thereupon, we did it willingly, 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 because we want to.
And in the fall it was the prairie wolf howling in the night. And now it's the wailing of Angus and James.
Mr. Lecter, 'tis not wailing. They both be having beautiful voices.
Especially Angus. Isn't that right, Annie?
Aye, and if I were to have his voice, I'd sound just as good. Annie, darling, if you're that interested in his voice, why aren't you over there with him instead of out here with them?
Uncle Benny, they both be courting Huldah.
Aye, and as I was telling your mother, 'tis a sin and a shame to waste the time and energy of 3 strong men on one wee lass.
3?
Aye, just because Richard isn't fool enough to be over there with him doesn't mean he isn't fool enough to want to be. By the way, where is he?
Taking the rounds. He took Mither with him to help Sister Jensen with her new baby.
Annie, when he comes back, be sure and remind him he promised to take a look at Father's lame ox before dark.
Sarah Jane, are you sure it is a lame ox that Gardner Clark be wanting Richard to take a look at, and not one of his 6 available daughters?
Brother Bannerman!
It's Mr. Bannerman, lass. I'm still not one of you.
Ah, but if you were Mr. Bannerman, it would not be only Richard who would be welcomed by Father's daughters to look at his lame ox.
Good evening, Bonnie.
Good evening. Here's your firewood, lass.
Thank you. Huldah, are you coming?
Already? But we just got... Oh. Hello, Richard. Sister Valentine. I didn't realize it was so late. What time is it?
Oh, band to heaven, it must be past that.
Oh, band to heaven, if I'm not the most foolish, half-witted, mindless courier that ever set foot on foreign shores.
What are you sputtering about?
Forgive me, Richard, but for months now, well, for over a year, I've been carrying in the bottom of my trunk a package from your bonny sweet lass back in Earlston.
Verda Delora?
Aye, 'twill only take me a moment to fetch it.
Oh, no, you don't. I'll go with you. The last time you got in that trunk, it took a week to sober you up.
I'd best be going.
Hold now. About the lass in Earlston.
Richard, you don't owe me any explanation.
Although I have to admit, I'm confused. None of us ever really expected that the handsome, eligible man from Scots was not really eligible after all. So, you may as well put your conscience to rest, Elder Valentine. As I assure you, absolutely nothing has passed between us to warrant any explanation.
Aye, Sister Clark. Nothing of the sort was ever intended.
Well, now, here it is, lad. And none the worse for wear, I hope. Excuse me, Miss Clark.
I'll just go get my muffler. And then, Mr. Bannerman, would you please be so kind as to walk me home?
Aye. Well, now, what does it say, Richard? Read it out loud.
Dear Richard, as I am not acquainted with the mail services from America, I am taking the liberty of sending this letter to you with Mr. Bannerman, along with the timepiece enclosed. Uncle George, Aunt Mary, and Aunt Lizzie send their love and regards. We no longer anticipate your return to Earlston, but rather have come to realize you must have found what you be seeking elsewhere. By the time you receive this letter, I will have done likewise. That is to say, found what I be seeking. For the day following tomorrow, I am to marry Robbie McNeil. As you remember, he be a fine man, and I know we shall be happy together. May the same God who oversees us all look kindly upon you till again we meet. Fondly, Verda Delora Riddle. Only it'd be McNeil by now, wouldn't it, Manny?
Aye.
Richard, I'm sorry. Forgive me for intruding, but well, at a time like this, you should know. A person should know. Realize that ceasing to be in love need not mean ceasing to love. Richard. Richard, you're such an unusual man. And I'm sure your kind attention stirred the heart of more than one Scottish lass. Forgive me. I'm not even sure what I'm trying to say. Mr. Bannerman.
How can she know that of late my thoughts have been far from Earlston, away from Verda Delora? But not for one moment has Huldah been out of my mind. Along the way, I've had to walk a path of endurance, hardihood, and I've had to muster up my courage. What happens to it when I'm with her?
I don't know. I don't know if she loves me. Why doesn't she show it? When a lass loves, why doesn't she know it? If she knows, why all the waiting and hurting, 'cause she's not there. If she loves me, why doesn't she say it? I shouldn't ask, but sometimes I pray it. Pray for a look, a tender moment, something to tell me she truly cares. Doesn't she feel the longing I feel? Would that I were the wiser. Do her words come from a lass who's in love, or from a sympathizer? I don't know, I don't know. If she loves me,
Oh, how she loves you. Just waiting, hoping that you'll pass the test. Ask me now. Ask the question, and I'll answer. I'll answer, yeah.
Hold. Do you truly be meaning that?
Banny told me it wasn't love with the girl in Scotland. Oh, Richard.
Hold it. I've waited so long now. Now, you tell me if it were otherwise, wouldn't you, lass?
Yes, sir, this desert is God's own country.
Aye, and after being here 14 months, I'd say he certainly did his best to discourage trespassers.
Mr. Bannerman, you sound like the noise of an ungreased wheel. Always the agitator.
And you know something? I think you be enjoying it, you'll reprobate. I think you take pride in your agitation.
Unfortunately, you'll soon find as I did, that each man's pride is in competition with his neighbor's.
And if you don't mind my saying so, sir, the sin of drink is a mere flea bite in comparison to the sin of pride.
Aha! One of the marks of a true Mormon is that he cannot bear giving something up without wanting everyone else to give it up too. But you be wasting your breath, gentlemen. For your information, I gave up my drinking before we left winter quarters.
Banny! I didn't know that. Heartiest congratulations, Brother Bannerman.
It's not Brother Bannerman, Mr. Standing.
Oh, then why?
Well, sir, it's this way. In front of you all, I did not believe in taking a drink. And when I was away from you, who needs it?
It looks like rain. We best be getting back to the wagons.
James, Angus, have either of you seen Richard? No. The animals are out, and it's starting to storm again.
Look at those clouds coming over the mountains.
You know everything we owns in that wheat field, and it's just beginning to ripen.
We'll get the animals up in the shed.
You better find cover too, Sister Valentine. I'll see if I can find Richard.
Another storm. Another lean, hungry winter. Forgive me, God, but never before have I felt so inclined to shake my fist at the elements. Never before have I felt so helpless. Last winter, we came too late to harvest. And all year long, only roots and thistles, which was fine. We managed. But now, with the baby, Father, if this storm is like the last one, it's going to destroy the whole crop. And I just don't know if we can survive another defeat. I don't know if I can. Why? Why must it always be such a hand-to-mouth struggle. It's as if all of the elements of creation were conspiring against us. Oh, Father, please forgive me. But don't let this be another victory for this forsaken earth.
Huldah! Huldah, lass! There's nobody outside. Come, quick. We must get you back to the fort for cover, lass.
Richard, if the hail destroys the crop, what are we gonna do?
Nothing much we can do, lass. Huldah, darling, don't you worry about it. I'll come back tomorrow and salvage what I can of the field. Maybe short rations again this winter. Huldah. I'm sorry. Truly, I'd hope.
Richard, what is it?
Here I am, facing my first defeat in this battle with the desert, standing smack in the shadows of a catastrophe. And an idea keeps crowding into my mind with such persistence that I can't even think about storms or crops or anything.
Richard, I'm sorry. I've exhausted you. You're just not thinking clearly.
Oh, no, Huldah. It's as if the possibility of failure has sharpened my thoughts.
What thoughts? Look, Richard, maybe you just need to talk to Phineas or James.
Those men wouldn't be understanding. They'd be thinking that other things should come first, unimportant things, like feeding your family or the building of cities.
Well, Richard, what could be more important?
Things, Huldah. Things which cannot wait for the winning over the wasteland. Huldah, while I was down by the canal, past the proposed temple site, I called again to my mind a little village in Scotland called Fawns. I remember the smudge-faced children playing on the streets on the Sabbath day. Then I called again to my mind the feeling of joy that came as those same lads and lasses sat in front of me in my Sunday school, learning in the church. Huldah, darling, no matter how close to defeat we may come in our battle for survival with the elements, surely God does not intend that the children be forgotten of.
But Richard, can children learn on empty stomachs?
Well, is it better then that they grow up struggling for the physical necessities of life, hungry and unhappy, with nothing to feed the spirit or lift the soul?
But how? When? You know you've been working 20 hours a day, just trying to overcome the last disaster. Sowing the seeds, tilling the fields, replanting the shade trees that even failed to survive the last storm. You tell me, how?
Huldah, I've made up my mind. I've asked the Almighty for guidance. Now I'll be asking my bonny sweet wife. Huldah, I want to build out there, a half-mile south and west of the proposed temple site. Now hear me out, love. I want to build a home.
Richard, a home.
Aye, lass. A home for the Sunday school.
Didn't have to this time. Sister Barrett's a good cook.
Where's my hotcakes? What's taking so long?
Keep your blinkins! Oh, excuse me, Elder Young.
Here you are. Minnie, bring the hot syrup.
You know, lass, it's with sweet milk, cheese, and money a wing, and furrows baked with butter.
Uncle Benny, what's that you're saying?
Well, lass, it is the mother tongue I be speaking.
Why do they call it the mother tongue?
Oh, Molly, if you weren't always late to school, ye could answer that.
I cannot help it, Uncle Angus. The bell always rings before I get there.
Well, lass, they call it the mother tongue mostly because father never gets a chance to use it.
Oh, lads! Whoa, you'll be upset the young ladies.
What you doing?
We're waiting for the tables to be cleared so I can start clearing the land.
What for?
So I can start building.
What you building?
A structure, lad. A place where ye can learn about God.
What kind of place did you say?
Oh, you'll see, lassie. And you'll see, laddie.
Oh, just look at him, will you, Benny? Do you know that he didn't sleep a wink last night? I was inside the wagon, and I could hear him outside sighing and sighing away. Oh, you wouldn't believe how thrilled he is.
Excuse me, my friends. Before we get about the business of clearing the land, I'd like to be saying a few words of appreciation to you. Soon the red sandstone foundation will be laid, the window sashes and the doors will find their places, and finally a roof will be set to protect all that's within. Now, to some it may appear to be a squat wee cottage, for it will be solid and simple. And that's as it should be for the home of Richard and Huldah Ballantyne. But it'll take more than wood and sandstone to fulfill the particular destiny of this particular house. I'll be planting cottonwood trees from City Creek Canyon and vines and shrub transplants from the home of President Young. And then I'll be putting a fence up around the outside and an open fireplace inside, and we'll be building the benches and... When all that be completed, it'll be a Sunday school. A house appropriate enough to learn about God. Danny! Back in Scotland when I used to feel this good, I used to march up and down behind the drum and the bagpipers, eh?
In the Highlands, whenever anything happened, either good or bad, well, someone wrote a song about it, then everyone sang about it. Cooperation and perspiration combined together with determination. Add a wee pinch of inspiration, and you got what it takes to do the job.
Appreciation and admiration are the reward for your cooperation, plus the bonny gift of toleration when you got what it takes to do the job.
You'll find your expectations satisfied, and your friendships will expand.
When you work together side by side,
Stretching forth the helping hand. Cooperation
And perspiration combined together with determination.
add a wee pinch of
And you got what it takes to do the job.
nation and adoration are the rewards for your cooperation.
That's a bonny gift of toleration
That you get when you've got what it takes.
Takes a lot,
And you've got what it takes to do the job.
Well, Richard, it's as though you're starting your work for the Sunday school with a capital S.
Aye, and he'll be ending it with an exclamation point when he opens the doors on the first Sunday school in the Mormon church. And it just might be I, Brother Bannerman, the first new member to walk through its doors.
Banny.
Banny, should not joke about such things, lad.
Well, now, it is no joke, Richard. Up till now, you have allowed me to overemphasize my virtues, and you've put up with my limitations. Limitations I put on myself, always looking down on things and people. Aye, and beliefs. And when you're always looking down on something, you cannot see what is above you.
Out with it, lad. What piece of music is the band trying to play?
Well, it took me a while to recognize it myself. It is not easy to put into words, particularly as a man who considered himself an apostle in Scotland's past. Traditions, lad, are hard to change.
But when, Banny? When did you decide, lad?
Well, there you were, going off in search of this new religion, and I scarcely knowing whither you went. And I said to myself, Banny, what is the purpose of it all? What else? What more? And I could not see beyond that. I could not see. I was too far away. Then I remembered Elder Young talking about pride, and there I was with enough pride in my traditions for myself and 6 others.
But you were no different than many of the friends we left behind.
Aye. And when charity was called for, I was the first one to put my hand in my pocket and leave it there. I found myself treating certain people kindly because I liked them. But since you have taught me to treat everyone kindly, I find myself liking everyone. It is not only the children you have been instructing in the gospel, Matthew.
So, Uncle Banny, you're going to be baptized.
Hey!
Does Smither and Holden know?
No, when I get back with that last load of logs, we'll tell them together. Phineas is going to let me dry at the rig.
Oh, go slow, Banny. That trail is steep.
Aye, like old man Chalmers, slow but sure. I'll do my job and reach a ripe old age. And who knows, maybe one day I may become one of the wise old elders of the church, an Abraham or a Moses.
And tell me, sir, to what do you attribute your longevity?
Well, sir, to the fact that I never died. I'll be home by the gloaming.
Aye.
Oh, Richard, isn't it wonderful? I can't believe it. It's finally happening. How soon?
What?
How soon before we're in our new home? Before the snow flies?
Well, I'm afraid it'll take a while longer than that, lass. But we'll try. And soon, little Richard Alondo Ballantyne and his beautiful mither will move into the church house.
Ah, Richard, the house church.
Aye.
Richard!
He's still breathing, but the bones are short of your crutch.
Oh, sit him down easy. Easy.
What happened? Tell me what happened.
He said he'd driven a rig before. The horse reared up, turned over the wagon. He fell, and the horse lost his foot and fell on top of him.
Uncle Benny, can you hear me, lad?
Aye, I hear you.
Hush now, lad. Don't talk.
I'll talk all I want. At least for a little while.
Go for the dock, quick.
Oh!
Where does it hurt, lad? Where does it hurt?
Oh, it doesn't hurt much. It only makes me so blinking mad.
Hush now, rest, man.
A man's got to be an awful fool to let a four-legged devil plop right down on him.
He didn't have a chance. Mr. Doctor.
I'm so tired. I'm so blinking tired. Maybe all the excitement is getting to me. Oh, just when I... Richard.
Hi, lad, I'm here.
You'll have to tell your mother alone.
What are you saying, lad? You'll be able to tell her yourself.
No. I waited too long. Maybe not. A Moses. After all.
Bunny!
Bunny! The scriptures tell us that the Lord took Moses up. He was never permitted to enter into the promised land. Now, Sister Ballantyne will lead us in a closing hymn. There it is, Uncle Benny. The first Sunday school in the Mormon church. And they're all here. John Taylor's children, the Pratts, and the Richards, and the Woodruffs. And there in Mither's arms, my own little son. And sitting there amongst them, I know ye are here too, Benny. And who knows, perhaps by this time next year when corn rigs are bonny, the walls will be bulging at the seams with those who would come to learn. And Uncle Benny, this morning I felt the closeness of God. And my heart was warmed. And I knew that what we'd be doing here would be right. All my searching along the way has led me here. I came in the name of religion, and I do not regret the journey. We took risks. Many things we lost. Earlston is gone. Nauvoo is gone. And ye are gone, Uncle Benny. But what we've started here this day, this will live and grow.
But why do we need school on Sunday? My pa says we should concern ourselves with doing.
But you can do more, lad, if you learn. You can advance. Then you can know the pleasure of passing on your bountiful knowledge to those that follow.
Thank you.